Welcome to the show, everybody. Another episode of Preaching to the Choir, where we bring you news, politics, sports, and whatever the hell else we feel like talking about. What is up, Banner Rock? How we doing today?
What's up, my guy? What's popping? What's going on, man? What we gonna talk about right now, man? What's going on?
I don't know. You ever heard of not Michael Knowles? You know who Michael Knowles is from Daily Wire?
Yeah, man. I heard a little bit of something about him.
I don't know. He started this new little podcast called Bar Fight. I think it's pretty funny. Brings on a couple liberals, people from the other side of the aisle.
Gotcha,
And they just debate, have some fun with it. You know what I mean?
Nah, let's talk about it, man. Let's just watch the video and we just go from there, bro.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do it. Let's do it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are actually live on YouTube, not live on Rumble today, right now. Tomorrow, this will go up on Rumble. So everybody on Rumble, make sure you like and follow. Leave a comment. And come check us out on Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube, man.
Yeah.
But let's make it happen right here on Rumble, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, if there's anybody that's here that wants to contact us, join on this, whatever. We want more people to get involved with the situation, what we're doing right now. And honestly, we don't discriminate. We talk about everything. Just come on, man. Don't be scared.
Yeah, buddy. But here we go. Let's check out this clip where Michael Knowles kind of tears into one of these liberal libtards, 20-year-old, whatever this kid's name is, I forgot. But here we go. Losing it. Let's do it right here.
It's a claim going around social media at the moment. I think at most one of us on this panel agrees with it. President Trump's strike on Iran is a betrayal of America first.
Yeah,
you agree?
100%. And everyone in this audience knows that.
How does he know that? He's not even part of this America First movement. He don't even know what the hell that means.
So that's that young kid that's like 21 years old, right?
Yeah, that's what I don't know. Maybe
he's like super young. Like I've seen him like another podcast before talking craziness, like he knows what he's talking about, and sometimes he sounds fucking stupid as hell.
Yeah, let's see. He's about to sound stupid as hell right now. That's my guess.
Trump ran explicitly on getting us out of these exact type of regime change wars. He flipped around for some reason. He's literally doing the model that all of the people who supported him said was the opposite of what he was going to do. And this is not surprising. I know Dan supports Trump a lot. You do too. Yikes. Given his record, he's failed over and over on his own campaign promises. I didn't like what he ran on, so it's not surprising that I don't like what he's doing. But anyone in this audience or the two next to me, the fact that you still support him after he's lied about his affordability agenda, he literally said specifically, by the way, I'll loop this back, but that energy prices would be cut in half in his first year. It's been a year. That didn't happen. Household electricity bills have been increasing significantly. Health insurance premiums skyrocketing. You voted for a bill that Trump...
They always want to come with these talking points. Like,
okay,
he didn't do it. He didn't do it, but it's been a year. Like, it takes more than that.
But my problem with him is that, like, how does he know? Do you have your own house? Do you pay your own bills, or you live in mom and dad's house? Let's stop fucking talking shit. Like, seriously.
Hey, I don't know. He's doing pretty good. I mean, you catch him everywhere. On the left side, he's doing pretty good. For what he talks, I just don't agree with nothing he says. Like 99.9999% disagree.
Yeah. All right.
Topic. I thought we were talking about Iran.
Hold on. They gutted social programs to funnel money to the wealthy. The point in illustrating that is to explain it's obvious that the character of this man would be that of someone who would violate his own campaign promises on Iran and anything else. And a regime change war in Iran that he can't even exactly articulate what it's for is the epitome of a contradiction from his promises.
All right, Dan, is the Iran strike a betrayal of President Trump's promises of America First?
This is the healthy snack that is taking over the internet. This is the Paleo Value 100%
Killing
grass
me.
coffee sticks. People
When
love
it
these
was
because they're
getting
keto
good.
and
Yeah. Crazy.
Damn.
I gotta start paying for this stuff. There we go. Here we go.
Oh, because I've been sure. First of all, people need to define America first, and look, even in our own party, some are saying it's betrayal of America first, because some people, I think, defined America first as pretending there's no outside world and saying, like, well, if we don't solve every single problem here at home, then there's no way that we can do anything abroad. But that's a contradiction in itself. It's like saying you can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. America first means America leading and remaining prosperous and maintaining our prosperity through that security umbrella that we have created since
the dawn of time.
D-Day is, I think, one of the most important days in history because it's the day that we decided.
See, but I don't agree with that. I don't think that's America first to me. I think America first is we put America first. But I do agree with him that we can take care of other things outside of America while we're still doing stuff in America. No.
Yeah. So my question to you is that gentleman that's speaking right now at the moment he was prior military, correct?
He was a Navy SEAL, yeah.
Okay, and then he lost his. I guess he lost his eye or something like that.
Yeah, he got blown up in IED.
Okay. All right. So now, no. Okay. So for people to understand exactly why we're talking about this.
But he is one of those that got rich in Congress. He just lost his Texas run. Because he was insider trading, bro. That fool was insider trading, got rich in Congress. And then now he lost because we tired of that. Like he's like a Nancy Pelosi. Like it was so bad with his trading, that I forgot there's an app that follows Congress people and you can like do the same trades that they do automatically. And he had his own tracker where they would track him and you could do exactly what he did. That's how much he was making off of it. So like,
oh, so he was making pretty much like buku money then.
Yeah, he was the Republican Nancy Pelosi over here.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And, they'll tell you it's not insider trading. It's not really insider trading. And, allegedly, that's how that goes. But, whatever. He knew a little bit what's going on. I don't know how much I trust. I think I've heard him say before that he puts it into a blind thing and he's not the one trading his stocks. But just so happened that his blind trades did the exact right thing to make him rich as fuck. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
I don't know. We got to figure it out,
Yeah. But on this debate, I think I'm on his side better than this libtard over here.
I don't want to be mean about, I know the young kid is trying to get his name up and stuff like that. I really don't. I've heard him a couple times and things like that, but you sound like a fucking idiot sometimes, dude. So
yeah.
You got to really analyze the things that you say out your mouth.
Let's see. What else you got?
That we would lead the world. And when we started leading the world, I mean, things got a little bit better. If you look at pre-World War II history and post-World War II history, we don't really have a lot of gratitude, I think, for what has been created since then and the amount of prosperity and luck that we've had since then. And so America First is about maintaining that. If you're going to if I were to summarize foreign policy in one word, it's pretty easy. It's stability. And so we want stability. And Iran is an agent of chaos. Has been for 47 years, ever since the Islamic Revolution and taking our people hostage, Beirut embassy bombings, killing hundreds and hundreds of soldiers in Iraq, training Taliban to build IEDs that take out people's eyes, and leaving me with so much scar tissue that I have to get nerve surgery like 2.5 weeks ago. So, I mean, Iran is responsible for all of it. And of course, their peaceful nuclear program that can only be done under 500 feet of bunkered, protected territory. Look, they're creating surrogate warfare via Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, the Iraqi militias. I mean, it's just constant and never ending. And so, you know, there's a debate over whether this decision is America first or constitutional or legal or whatever. I think the proper way to even address it is to say that it was somewhat inevitable. Because I mean, it was the natural escalation of things. It was the geopolitics almost gave us no choice in this matter.
Yeah.
You agree that Trump specifically ran against stuff like this, though?
No, I would have to point out.
Nope.
We're not going to go to war with Iran.
That's obvious, and
We're going to have a great relationship with Iran.
I didn't run Trump's campaign, so I don't really care whether he ran.
Well, that's
on
what
it.
I didn't run Trump's campaign, but I did pay very close.
Medicaid a second.
I'm talking about.
But
I was
I'm
talking
also
about
happy
his
to
history of
debate
lying
law.
about his agenda.
I didn't run Trump's campaign. I paid very close attention to it. And so this didn't surprise me at all. Not only was the strike on Iran, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, not only was it not a betrayal of his vision of American first. I support the president with some reservation on Iran, but I support the strategy.
Vince
Well, I'm
Waffle.
happy to tell you why if you let me finish.
Yeah, go.
First, though, I have a gift for you, gentlemen. Do you know that? I have one for you. I have one for you. I have two for me. That would be zbiotics.com/barfight. Folks, I got to tell you about a game-changing product that I discovered thanks to this beautiful show. After a night out, I'm not quite like I used to be, okay? And so I'm very glad zbiotics.com.
What's that?
Dang, killing me out here.
What in the world is he talking about?
Just built a
I couldn't
button
find
and
this thing. I gotta find this thing on Rumble.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible. Code barfight.
All right, here we go. It's back at it.
Okay. I support the president with some reservation on Iran, but I support the strategy.
Vince
Well, I'm
Waffle.
happy to tell you why if you let me finish. President Trump ran on these kinds of strikes. President Trump in 2016 ran not on isolation, as Dan rightly points out. He ran on destroying ISIS. So going into the Middle East, intervention to strike down a caliphate. When it comes to Iran, President Trump has campaigned for 10 years. He said it some 74 times that he will not allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon.
they weren't even close
He
or
exhausted
potentially even
he exhausted the diplomatic means. He also, during the 2024 campaign, not only he, but J.D. Vance went out there and said they would specifically back an Israeli preemptive strike on Iran. So whether you like it or not, hold on, look, I'll just make this point.
go for it.
Whether you like this or not, President Trump campaigned on this kind of strike explicitly for 10 years. I just gave you all the examples of how he
Didn't give
did.
any specific example
I
of him running.
I
This
agree.
is, you know this
campaigned on
before.
like he campaigned on
And that's what he
no
campaigned against.
occupations, because I think look, he points out whether right or wrong. I mean, because I even disagree with this point, but he says, you know, no occupations. Americans are sick of occupations, which is true. That's a political fact, and that's what he did campaign on. So I don't think this, and we're not planning on occupying Iran.
Yep.
How do we know that? Well,
Because he's told us.
he's talked
I'm
about.
just telling you what he's been saying for years, which is
We're
why
not
it's not a
doing it right
betrayal.
now.
He's talked about regime change, just striking and killing some of the top.
Yeah, regime change. You killed everybody. We're to number 3 Ayatollah now. He about to die. I'll give him 24 hours. If they don't come begging for Trump's forgiveness, they're gonna die.
Yeah, it's literally like it's gonna happen if it doesn't happen. You know, like if they don't come to him and they don't bow to his feet and all this other shit, it's bound to happen.
Yep.
And people don't understand that. Like right now, he has the say so to do whatever he wants to do.
Not whatever. Within
Cer-
certain bounds that the
boundaries,
Constitution
like-
allows.
yeah, certain boundaries.
I mean, the last thing that they want to do is actually strike the U.S. mainland because everybody's going to right now. We're going to war now. That's the last thing they want to do. They want to keep it over there as much as they can, because if like they did today, because you saw that threat that the FBI put out, it was unverified and all that, but you know what I mean, they're talking, at least they're talking about it. There's scatter going on that they're trying to hit at least the coast of California, and they got those little tiny submarine ships, you know, supposedly took out their entire Navy, but if we missed one, I was out here somewhere in the coast, and you get those orders to launch those little kamikaze drones in California. That might be the last thing they want, because then the next thing they're going to see is the 82nd Airborne and a bunch of parachutes. They're like, oh, we fucked up.
So, JC, my question to you is that do you think that as right now, what's going on with the whole situation with Iran,
Iran.
Iran,
Iran.
Iran. Do you personally think that if it doesn't stop, it's going to get out of control?
What is it? You got to be more specific. Like,
So let's say,
doesn't
for
stop.
example, so if it doesn't, so the situation that's going, the situation that is occurring right now with the president of Iran, and then President Trump, and their miscommunication, and they're not talking to each other, and he's bombing them, and he's
I don't think it was miscommunication. They were at the table. Iran, from the rumors that I've been hearing, supposedly Iran came to the table and said, we're going to start negotiations from, we have enough material to make 16 bombs, 14, 12, somewhere between 12 and 16 bombs, nuclear bombs. And that's where we're going to start negotiations. And that's when they were like, okay, well, now you got to die. Because we weren't going to start there to negotiate. There was zero nuclear power or nuclear bombs for Iran. Zero. They made it the wrong threat. And Trump isn't the one that's going to take a threat. Like, they don't know. You know what I mean? Iran doesn't read books, so, you know. They don't read his books. But he does have books out there on taking revenge.
oh yeah, of
Entire
course. Yeah.
chapters Trump on his books about taking revenge. So they don't really know him. So they went at him and said, no, we're going to start from here. They thought they had a high ground, or they thought they had a higher standing point than they did. And then we were like, okay, we're going to send you the 3 most powerful air forces in the world. U.S. Air Force, U.S. Navy, and Israel. And let's see what you can do about that. That's what happens. Get out of hand a little bit.
So, my question to you, like, we talk about everything, me as your friend and stuff like that. Do you think that, let's say for an occurrence that there's other, if they go into war, do you think there's other countries that are going to unite with the United States?
Yeah, everybody will back us. The same people that backed Operation Enduring Freedom, backed Afghanistan and Iraq, they're all coming. They can talk right now. They don't agree and this and that, but they will fall like dominoes, just like what happened with Spain, who said, well, no, we ain't, you know, I don't want no airplanes doing strikes out of Spain. And Trump was like, okay, no trade for you. And they were like, no, I don't mean it. You can use our bases. You can stay here. It's just what it is. Ain't nobody gonna. Very few will stand up to say, no, we ain't gonna help you. But I don't think that's something that he wants. Like the way that he talks, you know, we had the 7 goals that we talked about a couple days ago on the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't, you know what I mean? Boots on the ground. State Department trying to create a new government in the place of the current government is not what he wants. He wants somebody to rise up from inside that has the respect of the people that they know will follow. Friday is going to be this Friday, tomorrow. Well, right now, over there. We're about to find out because they ain't got no money to pay their soldiers. Everything's frozen. They ain't got no money. So if they can't pay, these soldiers ain't gonna fight. They're going home. They're gonna put their guns down. They're gonna go home. They ain't gonna fight.
They're not gonna.
Especially in that culture. In that culture, well, it's a Persian culture, so it's a little bit different. They are war fighters. You know what I mean? They're fighters. But the people that are the Islamic guys, part of the caliphate, I don't think they're that type of culture. They're a pay me culture. I do stuff for work for the highest bidder type culture.
Shut your ass up.
So that's what I think about that.
Yeah, I just like sometimes I just wonder, man, like if this is something like really smart for the president to do.
Yeah, but you
Because
gotta think about do you think he's surrounded by smarter people than him?
yeah, for sure.
Like that's one of the things to think about. Like Marco Rubio seems like a pretty smart dude to me. I've always liked him. There were some policies back in the day that I was like, ugh, what are you doing? But now he's been stepping up to the plate. I went from JD Vance 2028 to maybe Marco Rubio. So we'll see. But I mean, those are the kind of people that are advising him now.
Yeah,
He's not actually surrounded by all the super warmongers. You know, the closest thing we have is probably Marco Rubio. You know, like everybody's like, oh, the Secretary of War isn't telling him what he should do. Like that, the Secretary's job is to provide options, not tell him what to do. Options. That's our jobs as the Department of War.
Yeah, of course.
These are the options that we have available. Not you shouldn't do this. Like anybody that says you shouldn't do that should be fired. Goodbye.
Yeah, I just you know, I'm just hoping that you know, with the choices that President Trump does for the nation and for the world, it can better us as well, you know, with the economy and stuff like that. And sometimes I feel like he does kind of like get out of hand a little bit with the words he says, but I'm not a person to judge of what anybody says, because I can get out of hand as well when I start talking crap about certain things, you know?
Yeah.
So
my pen clicking.
Yeah, fuck your pen clicking. Fucking annoying shit.
Oh man, let's get back to this thing. Let's see. I want to see this guy get crushed.
All right, let's do it.
I want to see his heart sink into his chest and he just falls out.
Leadership obviously doesn't fundamentally transform the government of Iran.
He's told us.
He's talked
I'm
about.
just telling you what he's been saying for years, which is not a betrayal.
He's talked about regime change. Just striking and killing some of the top leadership obviously doesn't fundamentally transform the government of Iran. And so
the way well in Venezuela recently.
The way that you would he's still negotiating with the current regime. It's not like they got a pro-U.S. regime in power.
Oh, they're pro-U.S. now.
Yeah, they got a pro-U.S. leader.
The tankers landed in Texas, like with their oil. Like we got them to do what we wanted.
Either in Iran,
actually, we learned lessons and we did it the right way. We did
Trump has specifically indicated that he's looking for regime change. Then sometimes he waffles on that, which is a part of this. But I do want to get y'all on this. He's talked about it as a war, not a limited strike. This is different than like Midnight Hammer, for example. And would you not agree that if it was just a limited strike, Midnight Hammer fashion, then number one, it would be over by now, and number two, it would require the nuclear program to have been recreated, or that they're trying to build it up.
No, I think that's a total
he said it was obliterated.
I think that's a total non sequitur.
That's what you just brought up with the nuclear program.
That was one casus belli among many.
Prevent them
but no, you wouldn't need the nuclear program to be rebuilt in order to justify the strike. In fact, the State Department came out. Okay. If you'll stop interrupting, I'm happy to explain the point you asked about.
The main reason is nuclear.
One of the casus belli was that they were rebuilding the nuclear.
That's how they think they win. They win the argument by interrupting. Hey, shut up.
Yeah, I don't think they get anywhere when they do that. It's fucking retarded.
Program. No one really denies that. No one denies that, including the Iranians. But what they had gotten
absolutely were rebuilding.
They were obviously rebuilding it.
But I would also add they were building so many more missiles that it was becoming a problem for our own ability to defend against them, which is why the preemptive strike was necessary.
That was the imminent threat, not the nuclear program. It was the conventional missiles that were protecting the nuclear program.
That were going to strike us.
Strike our bases in the Middle East and the Israelis, yes.
And we know for certain, based on multiple intelligence reports,
based on history, proxies,
that there wasn't evidence of an imminent threat. You're characterizing one.
You're confusing what we're saying.
We had no evidence.
You don't know what he's talking about.
You're confusing what we're saying. The threat that we're talking about is the threat from the conventional missiles that they were ramping up tremendously to get to a point of immunity, at which point we would not be able to stop their nuclear program.
Specifically,
that's what Rubio said yesterday.
Regime change.
That's okay.
right? And
Yeah.
don't you agree that would require a little bit more than just strikes across the country?
You want to talk about the
That would require troops on the ground.
the legality of the War Powers Act is pretty clear. You can do limited action, which is
I didn't
this
say anything about
indeed
the
is
legality.
this is limited action for a term of about 60 days.
At least.
And
I'm just saying
you
random
know,
stuff.
no, I mean that's not random. That's just the law. So that's
I
the
didn't
War
bring up the
Powers
law
Act.
yet.
You're asking what he means by war, and you're pointing out that the War
yeah,
Powers Act
yeah,
gives you 60 to
you
90
brought up-
days,
when-
and many
but-
presidents go past that.
Exactly, because
Yeah, go for
you
it.
said it was a problem that he said the word war.
No, I didn't say it
So,
was a
so I
problem.
assumed that you were talking about the legality of it. And in any case, regime change, war, of course we want regime change. I mean, that's, yes, he did say that.
Whoa.
That is the point. What would be the
Right.
point of this otherwise?
That's been
Right,
U.S. grand
exactly.
strategy for 47
Exactly.
years.
Yeah.
That,
right?
You just nailed on it then.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that require troops on the ground? Do you think
No.
just us
Not
killing a bunch of
necessarily.
leaders
No.
is somehow
necessarily.
going to create a less or a more stable Iranian government?
That's what we did in Venezuela. It took 88 minutes.
Iran's very different than Venezuela.
Yeah, you're right. It
You know
might
that.
take 88 days
No.
in this case.
And
Everybody's
you
laughing
and
at
you know
them.
that for certain.
No,
the-
we don't know it for
the
certain, but
depth of their government
we do know
is
that if
still
you
in place.
eliminate like the first, second, third tier of leadership, which is
But again-
it continues to be the goal, their entire navy and their ability to launch missiles, which is increasingly being destroyed as we're seeing less and less of their ability to send those our way. Yeah, you're creating at least a situation where the Iranian people can figure it out on their own. Is it going to be perfect? Is it going to be as easy as Venezuela? No, it won't be. But it will take this problem off the map. And it's also part of a broader strategy. And they don't mention this in the administration, but if you take a step back, it is part of a broader strategy to deter China ultimately, because you're taking people off the chessboard. Okay, there's hundreds of thousands of Chinese workers in Venezuela working the oil and gas industry down there. You know who's not going to be working the oil and gas industry down there anymore? Chinese workers, because our big five oil companies are going to be doing it instead. So, and also about 12%, I think, of Chinese energy comes from Iran through their sanctions, sanctioned oil that they give to the Chinese. Taking that off the map is a big deal for our future problem with the Chinese.
Furthermore, look at what Putin said hours after the strike on
So-
Khamenei. He said, "Hey, by the way, those security guarantees in Ukraine, they look pretty good right now, Trump. How about you
So-
just play cool?"
Again,
Oh yeah, also
this
the
is like,
Shahad
well,
drones.
this
Do
is-
you support?
This
I mean,
is like
that's
the
a question for
exact
you.
same. This is so eerily similar to the justifications that we've heard before with interventions that ended up. I agree.
I agree with
Really
that part,
terrible.
yeah,
I'm
I agree.
glad Khamenei's dead and the regime horrible. But if you watch Trump talk about this, he can't explain what the end goal is.
Can I
What,
give you-
what?
There
I'm
you
sorry, let me
go.
finish.
That's
What
a
it
lie.
looks
We
like
talked about that.
for this to have been achieved.
Talked about that.
He's been
Couple
talking
podcasts
about it.
There's 7 goals. 3 of them are
Yeah,
knocked out already.
he's been talking about it. The only thing is that this kid right here is just talking out his ass.
Yep.
Achieve whatever it is that we're doing. And Libya, Iraq, we had this same thought of, if we take out some of the leaders in this government, things are going to get better. And we made them worse.
So can
And we had obviously American lives.
No. See, the difference between what we did in Iraq and what we're doing right now is that they took the regime out and then took everybody that was in power and said, goodbye, you will not be part of the new government. That's when it went to shit. So that's a big difference with what we're doing right now. We're trying to eliminate the folks that are against us and trying to get to somebody to take power that is not in favor of radical Islam controlling the country. That's my thought process.
And yeah, you have every right to think about that. You know what I'm saying? But this young kid, man, he's a little. How can I say this? A little wet behind the ears. He doesn't really know what he's talking about.
He's a smart kid. He's just. I think so many people are driven by hatred for Trump. Like, he's the politician that they grew up with. You know what I mean? His first term, they were little kids in high school. And all they heard from their teachers and from the news and from everybody, TikTok, all the social media at that time was completely against Trump. That's what they heard, and that's what they went by. And that's what's fueling their thought process.
Yeah. But you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If you're gonna go on a stage or a podium and you're gonna talk, you gotta know what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna go somewhere where you're gonna go debate two conservatives. Oof.
Exactly.
Uh,
Especially someone that actually lived it in the
yeah,
military.
exactly.
Lives lost, that's already happened.
Look, I'll say probably
Iraq, we had this same thought of, oh, if we take out some of the leaders in this government, things are going to get better, and we made them worse.
So can I?
And we had obviously American lives lost. That's already happened.
Look, I'll say probably the only time
resources
tonight I'll say
drained.
I actually agree with you. Look, it's a preemptive war based on, in part at least, on the threat of weapons of mass destruction, aiming at regime change in a country that starts IRA. So I totally grant you there are some similarities here. However, Trump has acknowledged that, and one of the big differences here is one: President Trump's grand strategy is not idealistic. It's not about spreading Madisonian democracy. In fact, if you read the national security strategy from November, he points out it's pragmatic but not pragmatist. It's realistic but it's not unprincipled. He has an unideological foreign grand strategy, and the point of it is, and he's been campaigning for 10 years, is to improve America's position in the world. If he can get Iran firing on every Gulf state, bring the Gulf states together with Israel and other American interests, which he started to do in the first term, it's already.
He'll turn everybody in the region against them, and we won't have to go in boots on the ground because Saudi Arabia or I think Saudi Arabia and Jordan would go in and handle it for us.
Already happened. I mean, it's happened in the last 5 days. That is manifestly different from Bush.
That meets our idea of stability too. I mean, again, going back to basics
We're just destabilizing the region.
No, we didn't. We just
pulling in all the
stabilized it
countries
in our
to a war.
favor. We stabilized it in our favor.
I want to destabilize this panel right now by going to the
exactly
microphone.
That was a great clip. You know what's even better?
Wow. So I personally think that this young man needs to come and he needs to learn a little bit more about what he's talking about, especially with having a serviceman next to him that was injured in the war. He needs to really realize that he doesn't know a lot, and he needs to realize that he needs to educate himself a little bit more.
Maybe, definitely. At least know where the opposite side is going to come from, because that's the one thing that he doesn't do. I don't think he realizes that he's not coming from an argument. He's not arguing the right. He's not writing. Man, can't talk today. He's not arguing the conservative standpoint. He's arguing the liberal point, trying to convince, instead of understanding where the conservatives coming from and fighting that conversation. He brings up his own points, his own side. He thinks that's going to convince people over. Like, if conservatives aren't reading up and studying what the left is thinking and their talking points. That's the main thing that happens always. The right knows what the left thinks, and the left only knows what the left thinks.
That is very, very, very true. Yeah. But I just with people, seeing what we're posting right now, we're just, giving our thoughts about, what they're talking about and stuff like that. It's not like we're judging them, but we have disagreements with everybody. So I personally think this young man needs to buckle up, and if he's ready to really, really talk about certain things in this world and what's going on in the government and politics, he's gonna have to find out, and he's probably gonna find out the wrong way.
Find out the wrong way.
No,
He's
find out.
already.
No. When I mean finding out the wrong ways, that finding out like you're probably gonna meet your match. Let's say, for example, per se, there's somebody like you, JC, like you talked about you're in an interview, you're talking to all these guys or whatever, and then he's talking and then you shut him down. How do you think that he's going to really analyze that?
Well, I don't know if I shut him down right. Too early for that.
No, but I'm just saying you as an example. I'm not saying you per se, but if let's say for like somebody else that goes that are more knowledgeable on what is going on, and he's just talking. I just feel sometimes he's just talking out his ass.
Oh yeah. There's one debate. Let me see if I can find it. Peasley. I think that's his name. Trying to find. He had a debate a while back with Andrew Wilson. I think he almost cried.
Oh, Andrew Wilson. I think I saw a video of him like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it over here. The Parker? What's his name? No, this is Parker's the other dude. There's another one of them, but there we go.
Right now, you're being trained by the environment. You're going to have a million things pulling on you. And it's so easy to get off course.
Is that the Midwest is a part of the United States?
Parker, I didn't know that. Is the Midwest part of the United States, Parker? I had no idea.
Did you know?
I had no idea,
that, like,
Parker.
Also, other manufacturing in the United
States.
Yeah,
it doesn't address my argument, Parker.
GDP,
doesn't address my. He just mutes me.
Does address your argument because it looks at the overall effect of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
You're like an NPC, bro.
Right now, you're fucking screaming into the mic.
No, you are, bro. You're an NPC.
You have no understanding of economics. I'm
NPC
right now.
Andrew Wilson brought on this woke idiot Parker here on a TikTok debate, and Andrew Wilson absolutely annihilated this idiot here live on his own show while Parker was live streaming. Let's get into this clip here where Andrew Wilson and this woke idiot Parker really go at it, and of course, Andrew Wilson once again destroys Parker for his ridiculous talking points. Let's get into this clip here.
I'm gonna be very sad, very bigly sad.
Hi, Parker.
How old are you?
Hi, Parker. How you doing? I'm 40.
You voting Trump?
I am voting Trump, yeah.
Why so?
Well, because his economic policies assisted the Midwest in a huge way due to his corporate tax cuts and what it allowed, because there was such a huge stranglehold by Democrats, especially in this state, with localization of taxes, especially in industry. It allowed them to get what they needed the most, which was access to capital, and assisted them in expanding. It was extremely helpful, and I'm hoping that he'll start making moves back to similar economic policies, which would help the local trade.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a question in terms of the corporate tax rate that it's at. Can you name me one point in American history that you'd point to where the corporate tax rate was that low, where we saw like good effects on the economy?
Hey, pause that real quick. When he started the video, you saw how childish he was.
How what?
How childish he was. Like he was just being an idiot. Like that he doesn't know how to respond to people. You know, like, come on, bro. You're over here putting a fucking emoji of a hat on your head, and then like, you know, you're going like this and all this other shit, and you think nobody fucking sees you, you're fucking idiot. So stop. Like, seriously, stop. Stop being a little kid, bro.
Yeah, that's what they are. I mean, this was a few years
Okay,
ago.
I'm
So
referencing other than the Trump administration.
Yeah, but
Like,
why would that? I don't understand why that's a non sequitur. During the Trump administration, well, hang on. During the Trump administration, I just gave you my argument. My argument was that businesses in the Midwest needed to have access to capital.
Yeah. So listen, if you actually, I can send you a paper from
He doesn't even let him talk.
Economist from Harvard that actually indicates there was only 0.04% annual GDP growth, specifically from the tax cuts.
Yeah, but do you recognize
$1.9 trillion of debt-related spending?
Well, I'm happy to respond to this.
$28 billion to the economy.
Let's say it only. Well, I'm going to explain. So
that's actually hilarious. What just happened? Andrew Wilson gives the whole reason why he's voting for Donald Trump, and Parker said the reasons why your example could you pop in closer possible. And Parker goes, no, but I don't
respond directly to this.
What's a red herring?
Well, so you're trying to get me to look at something that's beside my point.
It's not beside your point. I was currently making a point. You cut me off.
Well, can you respond to my point? The GDP would have nothing to do with what I said. Zero.
So, okay. So if the corporate tax cut was beneficial, it would have caused a increase in the GDP, right? Increase in the overall
well, it did. By your own admission, it did. You just don't like how much it did.
By 0.04%.
Yeah. So why would that matter for the localization in the Midwest?
It added 0.04% to the annual GDP.
So it added to the GDP,
which is about $28 billion per year.
Yeah.
So it nowhere near paid for
itself. How does
nor
that
did it
address
add
my
enough to the
point,
economy
Parker?
to justify the spending?
How does that address my point? Can you steel man my argument for me so I know you understand it?
He doesn't shut the hell up.
It builds up American manufacturing.
That's not what I said, Parker. What did I say? I said in the Midwest, specifically inside of the Midwest, which is where all the automotive plants.
I said Midwest.
Yes. So can you address what the
His stupid smirky smile, bro. But you know what's funny? That reminds me of me when I was a kid.
It's just the thing is that he's the other guy is trying to explain to him like what he's trying to say, but he just keeps going over him and he's not letting him talk. And then the other gentleman is getting upset about the situation that they're talking about. Like, just shut the fuck up. Just let him talk.
Yeah. At least wait for the point so you can actually argue what he's talking about.
Exactly. It's okay. Just keep going, bro.
West growth looked like, Parker?
Well, I was referencing the.
Yeah, I know what you're referencing. You're referencing a red herring. Can you reference what the Midwest growth was? Yes, it was. What the overarching GDP would be a reference from all 50 states. Many of them have Democrat controllers. They have their own tax brackets. They have all of this. What I'm asking,
but it's from
hang on, bro. I'm asking specifically.
Listen, Andrew,
if you can address my point for the Midwest specifically.
The effect on the GDP according to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act,
which has what to do with my point, Parker?
1.9 trillion is not justified, given that it only added.
Has nothing to do with my point.
$1.9 trillion of spending is the overall.
It increased. It hit the point. You agree that it increased, and you keep just saying, well, it's not good enough. I wanted it to be more. Well, motherfucker, when it was Biden, it was less. What the fuck you want?
But the thing is that, the dude is actually like being like a actual good person and saying, hey, let me talk so I can explain myself. And he's not letting him explain himself. Like if it was me, I would have told him go fuck off a long time ago. But
you can't, because it's like this. Like you can.
Yeah, it's like a debate. It's back. It's back.
Talking while you're talking and talking and talking.
Yeah, it's like back and forth. It's like back and forth. It's like, yo, dude, the guy is talking. Give him a second to explain himself. Then you can have a couple seconds to explain yourself, even if you're right or wrong. That's it. Shut up.
Yep.
Country spending this, and then it only added $28 billion per year.
Okay, right, Parker. First of all,
okay, that's very low.
Very low
ROI, right? Very low. So why would we use the money to do this rather to invest in other things in the economy?
Okay, so Parker, you still aren't actually addressing my point. When you're specifically looking at
answer my fucking question.
Well, you're not answering to mine. You don't get.
Oh, you're so mad.
You're refusing to answer mine.
Do you need a Kleenex, Andrew?
Bro, why are you not answering to mine?
Already, I addressed it.
Okay, how?
Economic growth that specifically comes from the tax and jobs
pause that real quick.
Minuscule to the amount of money that we put into.
Okay, look, exactly what I was saying. This little ignorant little motherfucker is literally like stirring, like he's like literally like putting fire in something that he does not need to get into, and that's the problem. Okay, right now these kids nowadays think that they know everything. You think you're gonna tell me as a grown man that I've lived my life longer than you that I need a Kleenex because I'm being a little baby about something? You can go fuck yourself.
They won't say that in your face, man. They're gonna say it like this. They won't say it.
Nah, but they're little pussies. That's what. That's the problem. Is they're little bitches. Oh my god, that shit gets me so mad, bro. Like the dude is actually the other gentleman is actually being real cool about it, real professional. He's just like, hey, just let me talk. You know, let me do this, let me do that, and he's just like he's just doing this rant to try to get all these fucking views on his social media platform. Ah, váyate tú pa'l carajo, pendejo.
Spending for it. So if you want to put money into investments, put money in investments that give you better ROIs than 0.04%
okay.
growth due to $1.9 trillion.
Parker, that doesn't address
tax cuts.
That doesn't address my argument, Parker.
I addressed it. I addressed it directly.
You're still spurging, bro. You need to calm down. Stop spurging.
No, listen. I was looking at the economic growth specifically from the tax
that's
policy.
not. That doesn't address my argument,
point.
Parker.
It does.
Okay. How does that? How would that address my argument, Parker?
Yeah, because it references the economic growth that comes from the tax policy that you referenced.
Yeah, but you're talking about the national GDP. The national GDP is not going to directly address the Midwest because each state has its own economy. So you could have two states, for instance, that could sink the GDP based on certain. Parker, it's my turn.
I'm talking about the effect of the
Parker, why won't you let me talk, Parker? Why won't you let me talk? You're still spurting.
I'm talking.
Oh, now we're getting into insults.
That you're referencing. I'm not counting those because I'm only referencing.
Now we're going to insult Parker.
These people just run the same plays every single time they debate someone like Andrew Wilson or anybody who just has their head screwed on straight, has facts on their side. They always run the same play. Like at first, they just try to avoid the question completely, and then they start throwing ad hominem attacks. So throw, Parker's throwing ad hominem attacks at not Andrew Wilson, but he'll also throw it at Donald Trump and the rest of them. They run the same play over and over again, and now he's just going to talk over him. And now this is Parker's own show, so he can mute Andrew Wilson to where nobody can hear him talk if he just doesn't want to address any question or anything that Andrew Wilson is saying. It's so sad. It's honestly so sad to watch. And Andrew Wilson's correct. He's just spurging because he knows he's backed into it. Give me an example. He knows plays a million times.
It has nothing to do with it.
You talk to liberal and conservative economists that highlights the effect of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. You are not.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with my argument, though.
That has everything.
It has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with it. Parker, did I what? Parker, stop spurging. Calm down, so we can have a conversation here.
Andrew, you don't have.
You're still spurging, bro. You're still spurging.
You're deflecting.
You're screaming at the top of your lungs. Calm down, so that we can talk, bro. You're spurging. I'm trying to give you the argument.
I'm not screaming. You're gaslighting.
Then why won't you let me speak, Parker?
I am letting you speak.
Okay, great. So,
acknowledging my point.
Yeah, because you can't move and deflect from what my argument was.
I'm not deflecting, genius.
You asked why. Okay, did you ask me why I was voting for Trump?
I did.
Okay, and did
specifically the benefits from the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in terms
for
of
what?
The Midwest.
Yes.
Midwest growth.
Yes.
What you're not acknowledging is that the Midwest is a part of the United States.
Parker, I didn't know that. Is the Midwest part of the United States, Parker? I had no idea.
Did you know?
I had no idea, Parker.
Also, other manufacturing in the United States.
Yeah, it doesn't address my argument, Parker. Doesn't address my.
He
just mutes me.
It does address your argument because it looks at the overall effect of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
You're like an NPC, bro.
Right now, you're fucking screaming into the mic.
No, you are, bro. You're an NPC.
You have no understanding of economics. I'm NPC right now citing a paper. I'm citing a paper from a liberal and conservative economist, bipartisan support that shows that you're wrong.
They just mute
no source. You just sat up here. You said, "What's the effect on the Midwest?" I'm looking at the overall effect of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. It's not
just doesn't stop and contend with the actual argument. He's just spurging. That's a funny word.
So the crazy thing about it is like when a certain person is very knowledgeable, they have an effective method of trying to keep their calm, their cool, and talk about exactly what their point is. But if he keeps going overboard and not letting the person talk, then that's his problem. He's the one who's looking for it. To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't know what this kid right that kid right there. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I've seen him a couple times, and this one right here made my anxiety go 100%. Like, I can't stand him right now.
On the Midwest, though.
The effect is, looking at what the effect is from the overall spending bill, because it was $1.9 trillion of spending.
Yes, but
that was debt-related spending.
Yeah, Parker, that still doesn't actually address the argument for the 15th time.
It does. It literally
doesn't.
Does. For the 15th time, it does.
It doesn't. You can't.
It references
Parker,
the GDP growth from the
Parker, are you still going to
spur,
spurge, or am I going to get a chance to talk here?
Wait! I literally gave you the chance to speak. You said something dumb, so I argued against it.
Well, all you have is ad homs. You just keep saying, "Oh, this is dumb. You're dumb. Everything's dumb." But you're not actually. You're not addressing the argument. No wonder you didn't.
Reasons why it was dumb.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Parker, I'll tell you what.
Can you give me a paper that says?
Actually, I'll do one better for you. If I pay your bill, will you come out to the Whatever podcast and do a 1v1 debate against me?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to pay your bill. I'm going to head out there in a week.
Andrew, you guys already ran away last time.
Who's you guys?
We literally had a day set up.
What does that have to do with me?
On the Whatever podcast.
Has what to do with me? I'm a guest.
You guys ran away.
You guys, I'm not. I don't own the show, Parker. Will you do a 1v1 debate with me, Parker?
All the time. You will go on.
What does that have to do with anything? Does that mean I own the show?
I'll debate you on religion. I'll debate you on social issues. I'll debate you on politics.
Yeah, I'd like to see how you're going to do when you don't have the mic mute button, Parker.
Yeah.
Because that's all you do is just mute the mic and refuse to address the argument.
Talk to you this way as well. I actually already addressed the argument.
You haven't addressed the argument.
Too dumb to realize.
Yeah. Oh, I'm too dumb to realize that you didn't address the argument. Parker, if somebody gives you an argument for why they're doing X, right? It's specific to X. I have asked you now multiple times for the data on the Midwest, the Midwest specific Midwest, Parker.
Yeah, that kid doesn't address the argument, makes it go long, and then talk about, "Oh, I'm better than you. I will make you happen. I will make it happen."
But the thing is that the guy's being respectful. He's telling him to lower his tone, talk to him, let him finish talking. Let him say what he has to say, but the other kid is just he's just being rampage. He's just going crazy. Like, he just doesn't shut the fuck up. That's it. Yeah. That's the problem. This kid, one of these days, this kid is going to actually debate with someone that's going to make him look like a fucking idiot.
Oh, he has, bro. There's been a few of them already. Been a few of them, but.
And JC, the problem is that, right? Is that I was noticing in the video. I don't know if you noticed it, but the guy that was talking to that kid, and he had no eye contact with him. He kept looking away, and he kept not. He was just being retarded.
I mean, he's running I don't know. Because he's running, the stream and all this stuff.
Yeah, but still, like, if look, me and you, we talking right now, right? I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, right?
I keep looking away though, try to find stuff too.
Exactly. But anyways, if we're having a debate, you look at me, I look at you, and we have the debate. That's it, point blank. That's how I see it. But the problem is with that kid. That kid's a little entitled little asshole that thinks that he can talk about everything. And that's what pisses me off because, I'll take you to the hood, the east side of Orlando. They will drag your little ass over there, bro.
Nah, he ain't going over there.
Yeah.
He's from Chicago, man.
Ah, man, he's probably from the suburbs.
I have no idea.
Probably from the suburbs, bro. We from the east side. We from the block. We ain't playing around, bro. And if anybody really knows about the east side of Orlando, they know. Shit. Don't play. Let the man talk, man. Come on, bro. The man was trying to talk to you like humbly and quiet and calm, and you saying fuck you and all this other shit. Come on, dude. Man, you whack, bro. You whack. You a whack.
Man, we'll do more of these, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to call it a day. We'd appreciate you if you don't mind hitting that like and follow button. Catch more of us here now. We're going to be throwing down a few more episodes a week. We're trying to make this thing happen. So hit us up. Let me know any topics you want us to cover. Preaching to the choir at gmail.com. Hit me up. Let me know. We'll cover shit up.
Y'all be blessed.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.